special report from KOB Television. The National Aeronautics and Space Agency quotes officials as saying that the asteroid now entering our portion of the solar system poses no threat to Earth. Meanwhile, NASA's viewpoint is substantiated by observatories as far away as Siberia and Peking. However, as might be expected, official sources in Moscow and Peking do have a difference of opinion as to the size and mass of the space intruder. Nevertheless, the world scientific community is generally agreed on one thing. The asteroid is on a collision course with the moon. After the impact, astronomers will no doubt have to add a new crater to their maps of our already pockmarked moon. In any event, we will interrupt our regular programs to keep you informed of the now certain collision in outer space and to bring you any further bulletins from leading observatories or from NASA.
Hi, Paul.
Johnny.
Johnny Longbow. Johnny, what? Sorry for rushing the Halloween season. It was too good to resist. What? You can come out now. Show's over. Count Dracula at your service. And better known on campus as Bud Keeler and Janet Price.
Hi, do forgive us.
These, I'm afraid, are two of my students at the university. Unfortunately, I'm saddled with them for my summer field course. Just as you were saddled with me. Not quite. You decided to switch from anthropology to mineralogy at the graduate level. Until that point, I thought you had a fair degree of sense.
Was it you that made that god-awful sound?
That was me, I'm afraid.
He also does bird calls, but don't get him started.
Janet, like I keep telling you, An anthropology major these days should have more than one talent.
That's a talent? Bird call? I'm Kathy Nolan.
Paul Carlson. Don't tell me you're a student.
Miss Nolan's doing a picture story on the religious customs of the tribes around here, especially my own people. That's why Bud happened to have a ceremonial mask.
Really my idea. I borrowed the mask from the collection at the reservation to do some mood shots on location out here.
But when we were heading back and I saw you, and Professor Salinas explained you were a friend, well, I'm afraid the bright idea of using it for a practical joke and getting some shots of your reaction was my idea.
Thanks, I'm glad to know.
I'm afraid we got more reaction than I bargained for. I won't use the shot. That's a promise. Am I forgiven?
Of course, Miss Nolan.
Kathy to my friends. We are friends.
We are, Kathy.
We were just on our way to Professor Salinas' place at the reservation. He's promised us an authentic Indian supper. Won't you join us?
I'd like to, if it's all right with Johnny Longbow.
It's all right with me, no problem at all. Just follow my car.
Why do you call him Johnny Longbow?
Well, it's his Indian name, his tribal one. It translates warrior's bow that reaches long to its mark. Actually, he handles a bow like one of his ancestors.
There's additional word from NASA this evening concerning the asteroid that collided with the moon 2 days ago. Radio telemetry from the seismometers planted on the moon's surface in previous Apollo missions have recorded the shock of the impact as beyond the end of the Richter scale. On Earth, this would be a disturbance that would rival the explosion in the 19th century of the volcanic island of Krakatoa. The impact on the moon has sent off a shower of fragments mixed with pieces of the asteroid. Some of these small fragments will enter Earth's atmosphere tonight, but they will undoubtedly explode into nothing more than a harmless shower of tiny meteorites, according to NASA officials. The greatest concentration of this meteor shower will be over the southwest region of the United States. This meteor shower will be, however, quite harmless, according to the statement from NASA, and likely to provide nothing more than a spectacular sight in the skies. And that's the story of the awesome collision on the moon today. This is Gary Kanan from our news center in Albuquerque.
I didn't schedule a meteor shower as part of the evening entertainment at the reservation. But it should be quite a sight.
This is a great meal, Professor.
That's a great stew. What's in it?
Oh, a lot of things. Chicken, corn, green peppers, chili, onions. Well, it's an old recipe around here.
Well, if nobody minds, I think I'll have some more. All for the cause of research, naturally.
I'm glad that's what you call it.
You know, I'd like to get some night shots of this area.
Well, if you don't mind me tagging along, I know a few great spots. But they're pretty far away.
That is a lizard.
Oh, sorry. Things like that scare me.
You get used to lizards here. They're quite common. That's why tribes in this area have so many legends about lizards.
Like, what, for instance?
Such as the story of Lizard and Coyote, for instance. In the days before there were men on Earth.
Sounds like it's going to be the Navajo version of Genesis.
Ignore him, Professor. I'd like to hear the story.
It'll have no effect on your grades.
I don't expect it to. I'd just like to hear it.
Well, one day, before man walked on Earth. Lizard and coyote were having an argument about what shape man would take. Lizard won the argument. They finally agreed that man's hands would be shaped like lizards, 4 fingers and a thumb.
Hey, that's right.
Was that the end of the story?
Not quite. Coyote drove a hard bargain. He agreed that man's hands would be shaped like lizards rather than his paws. But only if man would be mortal and never again try to be like lizard.
You see quite a distance up here. Although we've got a lot more air pollution than we're used to. That's Albuquerque over there. And that road leads to Santa Fe, northeast. And the river's over there.
Paul, where are we exactly?
I'm sorry. We're on the top of Sandia Crest. It's 10,678 feet up or down, depending on where you are and your point of view. Yeah, I'd like to come up here at night. It's one of my favorite places on Earth. It's always so peaceful, so quiet. Somehow above the rest of my life.
Right on schedule.
Paul, what's wrong? What is it? Paul, are you all right? What happened?
A meteorite. A lunar meteorite.
A meteorite?
We heard about it earlier on TV.
Yes, but here?
Oh, we're right in the area where they're due to fall. I guess we can consider ourselves lucky. What's the matter?
You've got a scratch or something on your forehead.
I don't feel anything.
Oh, no, don't touch it. Let me do that.
I must have bumped it when we hit the dirt.
Let me clean it up anyway. See, you were bleeding.
That's nothing. Hey, Kathy. Look at that. That'll make a great souvenir. My own personal moon rock.
Moon rock? Oh, wow.
Did I say something wrong?
No, but you just reminded me. I'm supposed to go into town tomorrow. There's a NASA exhibit at the university, and I'm supposed to cover it.
That's a great idea. We'll go to the exhibit, then we'll have some supper, then we'll go out afterwards. Just in case the moon rock hasn't cooled off. It's cool enough to travel now.
Have you got a first aid kit in that bag?
A few things. Why?
I'm still worried about that cut on your head. It could get infected.
Look, I don't live far from here. And I've got all kinds of antiseptic in my medicine cabinet at my place.
Your place?
My place.
Fine. Your place, then.
I gather nobody's home.
My mother's in Europe. She travels a lot. Now that the real Paul Carlson has stood up, what do you think?
I think you've spent a lot of your life being lonely.
When your parents are divorced, you get used to it. I'd like you to meet a friend of mine. Hey, his name is Ty.
Ty.
Short for Tyrannosaurus.
Sounds like something in a museum.
It is, usually. Ty looks a lot like a dinosaur. Or like the dragon the Indians call Avenue.
Thank you for introducing me to your friend.
Well, I hope he didn't frighten you.
Paul. It's us I'm really frightened about.
Kathy. Excuse me, I want to get a closer look at this moon rock.
Paul! Paul, what happened?
I guess I blacked out. I'm okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just need some fresh air.
My voice been getting froggy. I've been smoking too damn much. Singing songs to the sun that's rising, rhyming words I cannot touch. Oh, I've been wandering in circles with just a guitar in my hand, playing one too many bar rooms and drinking more than I can stand. California lady, won't you bring your love to me? California lady, she's the one I want to see, my California lady.
Do a lot better off if we take you home. Like now.
Johnny's right, Paul. You're going home.
I'm hung out in Chicago with a California mind. Oh, lady love and Lord above, these city mountains aren't my kind. Oh, I've been wandering in circles with just a guitar in my hand, playing all them funky bar rooms and drinking more than I can stand. California lady, won't you bring your love to me? California lady, she's the one I want to see. My California lady, my California lady, my California lady.
I'm just not sure. Leaving him alone.
It's the best way. Paul's still learning a lot of things.
Such as?
Such as how to accept help from other people. He's used to doing things for himself. He's been a loner a long time. It's not easy to change.
Even so.
Tell you what. If Paul calls me during the night, I'll call you and come pick you up. How's that?
I'll buy that. And if Paul calls me first?
Yes.
That concludes the national news. Now turning to the news of the local Albuquerque area. 25 people were stranded this afternoon for over 4 hours on the Sandia Cable lift. The lift was halted due to a severe thunder and lightning storm which swept through through the Sandia Range at approximately 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Oh,
No
come
major
on,
injuries were
honey.
reported,
I don't
although
understand
7
out
people
here
did
all
request
night. Don't
hospitalization.
you understand? I love
Also
my
stranded atop the
Come
crest
on,
were some
open up.
300 people who were vacationing.
Oh, go to hell, Sid. I told you what was going to happen when you came home again from that bowling alley drunk. I'm going to bed. And you can just sleep it off out there. Go to hell.
Who's there?
Thanks, Kramer, for bringing the professor.
Hello, Mac. What happened here?
A killing. A messy one. The medical examiner's report being phoned in?
I'll make sure I'll have a copy on your desk when you get back, Captain.
Good. Let me have copies of the other reports, too. All of them.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Check in the house and see if you can lend a hand. Now I'll tell you why, exactly why I asked you here.
I was wondering. It sounded urgent.
It's because I need an opinion from you.
My field isn't medicine. You know that, Mac.
I know.
Well, what then?
One problem with being a cop is that eventually you think you've seen everything. Well, this morning I found out I was wrong. This is different. Which one is him? The woman had a weak heart, and what she saw when she opened the door apparently finished her. There's no report of any violence on her. But take a look at the man. What kind of thing would cut up someone like that?
Could have been a mountain lion, Mac.
No, Johnny. Not that easy. Let's show you something one of my men found at the back of the house. Whatever. Killed Harris must have tripped over the garden hose and grabbed at the side of the house for support. Take a break. I'll check things here.
You're right. That wasn't made by a mountain lion. That mark was made by a human hand.
Well, I would agree with you except for one thing. You tell me what kind of human makes a footprint like that. Now you get the picture, Johnny? When I got that radio call, I thought someone had made a real goof. But when I saw Harris, I had to believe it. Harris was killed by some kind of thing that was nearly 7 feet tall. Had hands with claws on the fingers. And walked on feet like I've never seen before. Now, that's why I had to bring you here, Johnny. Now, you're right. This is not some kind of medical problem. I don't know what kind of problem it is. You're an anthropologist, Johnny. I thought, well, just maybe, you might be able to help us with this.
Well, I can't tell you. I've seen a track like that before.
Where?
In a museum. A fossil track. Several million years old.
Have your men made a plastic cast of the track? We might get a better answer from the paleontology department at the university. The department head, Dietz, he's a friend of mine.
Let's go now. The casting should be ready.
Wake up. Wake up. I decided to make breakfast for us while you hit the shower. Paul!
I agree with Professor Salinas. Your casting here is that of the left hind foot of some form of reptile, some very, very large lizard.
I still can't believe that there are lizards that big in New Mexico, or anywhere else for that matter.
Sorry, Captain McCabe, you're wrong about that. There is a lizard we call Varnus comodensis. There's some photos of him over in the paleontology lab, who grows to be all of 10 feet long. He's quite a fellow. The Indonesians call him the Komodo dragon.
Gene, is it possible that one of these lizards is here? Somehow.
I don't think so. And if there were one somehow on the loose, it wouldn't be what you're looking for. The Komodo dragon walks on 4 feet. This indicates a lizard that can walk upright. Some form of reptile closely related to the Tyrannosaurus rex.
Thanks, Johnny. But how in the hell am I going to tell the commissioner or anyone down at City Hall? A man was killed on the doorstep of his own home last night by some kind of dinosaur.
How do you feel today, Paul?
Oh, a lot better than yesterday.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, they're pretty good. But you should see Johnny work with the bow. Our scholarly anthropologist here was the conference archery champ in college. I've seen his trophies. How about a little demonstration for our captain?
All right. Come on, Johnny Longbow. I'd like to see you live up to your name.
Johnny made everything himself. Even the arrowheads. Everything is authentic Indian. Okay, Johnny. Now let's really impress the lady from New York.
Hold this.
Paul!
I think he overdid it by coming out here today. Better get him home, Kathy.
Oh, no. You're not talking me out of it this time. I'm staying. You need looking after. Did you take the aspirins?
Yes, Master.
There. That's better. Dark and restful. You should be able to sleep now. If you should need anything, I'll be right in the den, okay?
Okay.
Open it. Okay, there. I'll open it. Wait just a minute. I'll open it for two.
You open it for two.
Right.
All right, I'll see it. I'm in for two.
You're in for two. How about you, Earl?
Yeah, I'm going to stay for two.
Okay. How many cards?
I'll take a pair.
A pair will never win this game. A pair will never win this game, friend.
I'm going to say same thing as he does. Same thing.
Okay. Two for you and two winning cards for the big winner of the night. Okay?
Paul. When I woke up and couldn't find you anywhere in the house, I got so worried. What are you doing out here?
was so warm in my room. I couldn't get back to sleep.
But it must have been chilly out here last night. You could have caught cold. All you men are alike. Sometimes you act like such big babies. Come on. I'll make you some breakfast.
He was still alive when we found him. The man was pretty far gone in shock. But he did manage to say something about a lizard. A big lizard. A big lizard that walked like a man.
Seems to me I've heard that expression before.
Maybe. Something your friend Dietz said about a dinosaur?
The Tyrannosaurus. Well, now there have been discoveries of supposedly extinct creatures dating back to the dinosaur age. Ancient life forms that are still alive today.
Maybe there is a dinosaur still alive. Up in the hills. Something drove it out of the hills. Now it's on the loose.
Professor Salinas, those poor men murdered in the hills last night. Have the police found out who did it?
Only some theories. That's all so far. Were those the reason for all that laughter when I drove up?
They're the pictures Kathy took at the NASA exhibit. You should see the one of Bud looking at the girl in the tight jumpsuit. His eyes were popping out.
What happened in this shot?
Oh, this one. I don't really know. It's probably a light leak or a lab error. It's on the original transparency, too. I was going to check with the lab in town later.
How is he, by the way?
Paul? He seemed a little better when Janet and Bud called for me before, but he still had a headache. I'm worried about him. Those headaches he's been having.
He's been having those headaches since the day after that meteor shower. Didn't you tell me he hit his head in the ground that night? When he tried to shield you from that meteorite that exploded.
That's right. He got a cut on his head.
A cut?
More like a scratch. Just a little one.
It's possible Paul may have gotten more than a scratch. A light concussion, maybe.
Then you think...
But don't worry. I said it might be a light concussion. It's nothing really serious. I'll tell you what. I'll pick up Paul on my way. Take him to a hospital. St. Joseph's will be the best. They'll do a cranial x-ray, check him out. He'll be back to normal and back to you in no time at all. The lab that did this print, it's near the hospital. I'll have that light streak checked out. Save your trip?
Hurry up, Slowpoke. I want to get you off my hands. Then, your lady can take over.
Johnny, you're one hell of a guy.
White man, speak with forked tongue.
No, quick, let me write that down.
Hurry up, will you? I got other things to do. What happened here? Where's Ty?
I don't know. He must have broken out the night before last. Something scared him. Maybe the meteor shower.
Is this the meteorite you found?
It's my own personal moon rock. Funny thing, I've looked through every text I have on mineralogy, and I can't find anything like it. Of course, I haven't run a series of tests on it.
Do you mind if I borrow your moon rock for a couple of days?
Go ahead. I was going to take it to the geology lab anyway. Maybe they can find the answer to it. I can't.
But right now, we're going to take you over to St. Joe's. Maybe they can find an answer to what's been bugging you.
That's it. You can get dressed now.
I finished with your friend. It'll take about 20 minutes or so to process the plates. Dr. Sutton's expecting you. He left word for you to wait in his office.
Thanks. How do you feel?
Not bad.
Good. While you're waiting, I might as well do an errand near here. I'll be back in a little while.
No sweat.
Then it's not just some kind of error in printing, Mr. Hamill.
Definitely not. I remember looking at the originals on that roll myself. What you see is what happened. I can't explain it, but it's not our fault or the fault of the film.
Well, have you ever seen anything like that before?
Never. I've been in this business for years.
I'm Dr. Sutton. Would you come this way, please? I've looked at your x-rays.
And?
We don't usually discuss them with patients, but this isn't a usual case, Mr. Carlson. This is the normal situation, just to give you an idea. And this is the one we took of you.
What does it mean? What's happened to me?
You've been hit by a small particle of matter of some kind. Not enough to cause any pain because of the high speed, but it is there.
Then something's inside my head?
Yes. It's not uncommon. There have been cases where servicemen have survived with small particles of shrapnel embedded in their brain.
This wasn't shrapnel, Doctor.
So I understood. A meteorite, you said?
What happens now?
Now? Now we're going to keep you here for a few more days for observation. We're going to take more x-rays. If that area doesn't clear up, we're going to do something about it, surgically.
I made these photos several years ago when I was doing research for my doctorate. They just might have a connection to your killer lizard.
Well, at this point, I'd settle for anything in the way of a lead. Well, let's see him.
This is the first scene in the deer hide painting I was shown. Not many people have seen it. It's something like 400 years old.
What's happening to the Indian in the painting?
It's the beginning of the story. He's being struck by light that comes down from the sky.
Well, what happened to him?
See for yourself. Whatever struck him from the sky changed him completely from human form. He became a demon lizard monster. Arrows had no effect on him.
Well, how'd they get rid of this demon lizard?
They didn't, but it died anyway. It was consumed by fire. But where the flames came from, nobody knows. That's a mystery. And it's still a mystery after 400 years. I know what you're thinking. It's only an Indian legend, part of our tribal culture. I know, it's fantastic, but it's the one thing that ties in with what the fisherman said. He said the camp was attacked by a lizard that walked like a man. Now, I want your help, Mac.
Well, we've got the place to ourselves. I had them close up early on my authority, and I hope this proves something.
I'll know in a minute.
I never thought I'd see the day when I tried to solve a case with Indian superstition.
We are just about to find out. It should be somewhere just about here.
What was that?
I don't really know. My guess is that there's some unusual element in this fragment that synchronizes with that larger mass over there. And it produces some kind of energy reaction.
You mean this energy or whatever it is? You're going to turn a human into a monster? Just like in those werewolf tales? When there's a full moon in Transylvania? Oh, Johnny, I've known you for a long time. You've got to be kidding.
I wish I was kidding, Mac. I'm not. Now, there is an answer. But I think I know what it is. And it makes me sick to think about it. If what you say is true, the X-rays, the way the meteorite reacted, and your Indian legend, then there's something I've got to know for my own peace of mind.
Maybe rough, boy. He's right, Paul. Nobody knows what may happen.
And let's find out. How much time do I have?
Be sundown in half an hour. The moon will be up an hour or so after that.
Before anything happens, I want to talk to Kathy.
I'm sure that can be arranged. She's at the reservation. I'll phone her now.
You better give her some idea of what he might have to go through, just to prepare her.
I'll try. Captain, I'd like to talk to you before go in there. We've had to move Paul to another room. He's in there.
Why is he in there? Why are these policemen here?
We're not sure what may happen to Paul after the moonrise. In fact, moving him here was his idea.
But surely...
Kathy, see, this is a hospital. We can't afford to take any chances. The moon is a strong effect on the Earth. Look what it can do to the tides. In Paul's case, it may trigger a whole set of changes, a temporary mutation.
I want to see him. Now. Please.
Nearly sundown now. She shouldn't be in there much longer.
All right, I'll get her. Kathy? Kathy?
Thanks, Johnny.
Can I take you home?
No, thank you anyway.
No trouble, miss. One of my men can take you home.
Thank you, Captain. I'll be all right. I'd like to stay here at the hospital.
The moon is up now. I hope you were right.
I don't. I hope you're wrong.
Well, we'll know in a few minutes.
Something's happening. Then it's true. It was me. I killed all those people.
It wasn't your fault, son. They won't convict you. They won't even blame you once the people know the facts.
We'll soon have you back to normal, Paul.
Do I need these now?
No. Dr. Sutton's been in touch with NASA about your case. They're sending one of their top lunar scientists and one of the finest brain surgeons in the country. See that particle of meteor in the front part of your brain? It's causing the problem. When it's removed, you won't have a thing to worry about. You can go back to leading your normal life.
I'd like to see Kathy. Please.
Would you fasten your seatbelts, please? We'll be landing shortly.
When are we due in Albuquerque?
In about 20 minutes. The captain got a message a few minutes ago. You and Dr. Lawrence will be met at the airport.
Thank you. May we get off first, please? We just have some hand luggage.
That's also been arranged. You and Dr. Rizzo are to be given every cooperation.
I must admit I was pretty startled last night when I got the call.
So was I. I've never come up against a case anything like it. And I've had a few unusual ones, I must say.
We've been worried at NASA all through the Apollo program about the possibility that something could cause a mutated life form. Nothing ever happened.
Until now.
Oh, Paul, this is Dr. Rizzo.
How are you, Paul? I'm going to be operating on you in just a little while.
Glad to see you. What happens now?
We're going to make another set of X-rays just to check on the particle. The new set will give us an exact pinpointing of the spot in the left frontal lobe where it is.
I thought you should see these right away, Doctor.
I think we should look at these inside.
What's the matter?
I don't know, but I'll try to find out.
If you look at the difference in the affected areas, you'll notice considerable change, Doctor. There's been a definite growth.
From the look of it, I'd say the particle in that young man's brain has disintegrated, and energy factors are spreading through his entire system.
No question about it.
Isn't there any way of neutralizing the effect, Doctor? That's your field, Dr. Lawrence. Is there something that can be done?
We're dealing with a brand new unstable element here, one we've never seen before. We don't know its characteristics, atomic structure, how it reacts. There's a chance. There's always a chance. Eventually, by doing research on the meteorite fragment you showed me, well, we might learn how to cure your friend. But the time...
You're saying by then it'd be too late.
I can't give you the timing exactly, but more or less what's going to happen is that the very presence of the moon itself, a moon rock of gigantic size, if you will have a recurring effect on your friend's mutation every night, just as the energy emitted by that particle in his brain was triggered by the small moon rock at our exhibit here. Eventually, the diffusion throughout his body will be complete. And at that point, the situation will be atomically unstable.
Then the energy is released all at once. A form of explosion.
Exactly.
And when it happens, your young friend will be consumed by it.
I've got to talk to you now. Let's go.
The demon in the tribal painting. Self-consumed. One Indian mystery solved.
Oh, Paul, why couldn't there be time for us?
There isn't. And that's why I'm going away. Now, if I'm gonna die, I want to die looking like a man, not like a monster.
Paul, don't.
I need a few minutes. I've got to get away from here.
Get away where?
I don't know. But I can't stand being locked up here again.
Will I see you again?
I don't know. I want you to go back to Dr. Sutton's office. And if anybody asks where I am, I want you to tell them I'm on the roof. That'll keep him busy enough for a few minutes. Long enough for me.
I won't do it.
Kathy. Please. Do it for my sake. Do it because we love each other.
Oh, Paul. Why did this have to happen to you?
It did happen. That's all I know.
Stunts I've ever seen. Does that kid think he can get away?
He's not trying to get away. You don't understand. You just don't.
A search has begun to locate a young
Yes, sir.
male patient.
What can I do for you?
From a serious headache.
I'd like
Who
a
escaped a short
12-gauge
time ago
shotgun
from a special
and some shells.
observation room at
Well, we
St.
have some very nice models just came in.
Bulletin was issued
Very nice
by
guns. I'll be glad to
authorities
show
at St. Joseph's and by Captain Stuart McCabe, authority of the city's police commissioner. Here's a description of the man being sought, whose name is Paul G. Carlson. He's 24 years old, Caucasian, about 6 feet tall, weighing 160. Brown hair,
Here's a nice one.
blue eyes, regular features. Carlson was last seen in the vicinity of St. Joseph Hospital. He's believed dressed in tan slacks and a blue sweater.
We got a report on him. The owner of a gun shop says he tried to buy a shotgun, but left without it. I don't think he wants it as a weapon. He wants to kill himself. Why, Miss Nolan?
Because we overheard what Dr. Lawrence said in the other office. That's why.
You might be wrong, Mac. He's on a motorcycle. If he wanted to kill himself...
No. Crashes don't always kill people. He knows that. Now, he'd try to find some way that was fast and foolproof. If only we had some kind of lead on him. Anything.
Yeah, I'd like to come up here at night. It's one of my favorite places on Earth. It's always so peaceful, so quiet.
I can't stand this waiting around. I think it would be better if I went back to the reservation, don't you?
I guess so. Well, how will you get back?
I borrowed Bud's car.
I'll phone you if we hear anything.
They found the motorcycle.
Where?
Up in State Road 44. He took a spill. The bike is a wreck. But he'd probably walk away all right. They couldn't find him anywhere around the area.
That road leads up to Sandia Crest. Of course, that's gotta be it. Over the years, I got to know Paul pretty well. The one place he went to when he was troubled, the one place where he felt free, was Sandia Crest.
I thought you were...
I know what you intend to do, but you mustn't. Please, you can't.
Kathy, I don't know how you found me, but you've got to leave now.
No, Paul. I want to be with you.
You can't stay. The sun's going down. It'll be night soon. If I don't reach the crest before the moon comes up, then you can't stay. Then it'll be too late for the both of us.
Any sign of them, Pete?
No, sir, but we'll keep checking the area.
And you stay put. We'll check downhill a little further. If anything happens, call me fast.
Yes, sir.
Paul! Paul, help me! Paul! Paul, please! Help me, Paul, please help me. Help me! Oh, Paul! Paul! Paul, help me! Paul! Paul! Please, Paul, my foot is caught. Help me. Paul, help me. Please. Please. What happened? Where's Paul?
He got away. 2 more men dead.
Oh, God.
It's too late to help him. Not now. It's got to be stopped before there's any more killing.
Are you going to try and stop it with a bow and arrow?
Not with just any aeromac. I'm going to use this.
That looks like a piece of meteor Paul had.
It is. I've fashioned an arrowhead out of it.
What are you going to do? Johnny, tell me!
We're fighting something we barely understand, Kathy. The changes that a particle of matter from outer space has made in a human being. That's why I'm doing this. If a particle can generate all that energy, a larger piece from the same element might speed up the energy processes.
Dr. Lawrence, Paul and I heard you in the hospital. You said Paul would become atomically unstable, that he would...
It was always inevitable. This way it may happen a little sooner, that's all.
Johnny, you can't do it. He's your friend, Paul.
Paul is not Paul anymore. You've seen that. Kathy, he's not as you and I know him. Paul is gone. What you see in his place is nothing we know. Nothing human.
No!
That poor kid. She's had a rough time.